Today I'm going to be doing a demonstration on how to do sky colors for landscape. I ended up painting this little mini landscape. And I also did some color mixing. So I show you how to mix some blues for the sky. I did all of these different blues. And the two different blues that I used are ultramarine blue and cobalt blue hue. So I used both of these types of blues. You can also do this with other types of blues. It's not just those two that you're limited to. But I just wanted to do a small demonstration on how to paint skies. I'm pretty sure I had somebody ask me this on YouTube a few years ago or a couple years ago at one point, and I just never got around to doing it because I think it's just going to be a really small, like short video. And then I had somebody ask me on Patreon. So I hope that this is helpful. And if it is, give me a thumbs up and give me a like. And you can also check out my Patreon where I have full tutorials. I've lost count of how many actual landscapes I have done tutorials of on Patreon. There's a lot on there. So if you're trying to learn how to paint in acrylics, or you can also do oils, and you're trying to get better at painting landscapes, you can always check out my Patreon and join. But that's it. Let me know what you think, if you learned anything, and bye. I'm going to do some color swatches here. So for the sky, so I'm going to take, this is ultramarine blue, and I'm going to take some ultramarine blue, and I'm going to take a little bit of white. Okay, so that's going to be like a darker blue. So just the white and the blue is pretty bright, pretty pigmented. I don't really like to use that color. So I'm going to mute it down with some yellow ochre. You can mute it down with either yellow ochre or burnt sienna. I'm going to go ahead and just use the yellow ochre here. So just use enough here to where it gets muted enough to how you prefer. So let's see how that looks. So that would be a pretty dark sky color. And then all you need to do is just add white, some white at a time, a small amount of white at a time to lighten it up. Okay, so there you go. That is right there. You can use this for the sky. Usually in the top of this, towards the top of the sky, it's going to be darker. And then as you move down to the sky, it's going to get lighter. So you can start out with some of the darker and then move down. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing, but I'm going to use a different type of blue. This is, I already forgot, it is cobalt blue hue. So I'm going to do the same thing, get some blue and add some white to it. So pretty bright. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to go ahead and mute it with burnt sienna instead so you can see. I mean, the effect is pretty similar. I think I may have added a little bit too much burnt sienna, but we'll see. Ooh, that's almost a black. I'm going to add a little bit more of this blue because I think I added too much burnt sienna. Okay, I'm gonna add some white. All right, it's getting better. And just add some more white. Bit more white. Okay, so there you go. Some more sky color right there. Let's see what happens with that cobalt blue if I meet it with the yellow ochre instead. That's a really pretty blue, I think. Can add some more yellow ochre. Oh, I made it darker. Okay, so now I'm gonna add some more white. Actually, I think I should have stayed at that one and not added any more yellow ochre. That's okay. But just shows how much of a difference just adding a little bit of a different color can make. So they are slightly different. This one is a little bit more more blue toned. This one's a little bit more gray. So yeah, just go ahead and you can experiment with different types of blues. I can actually show you what would happen if we didn't mute the blue with any of those. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna use some of that cobalt blue and add some white to it. I made it a little bit too light, but that's okay. So I'm gonna add some more white to it. And you can totally use this color for your sky if you want to. I just prefer a more muted blue. But if you prefer more pigmented, then that's totally fine. So this is actually really pretty. I like the lighter blues. So I might go ahead, you can actually maybe use this lighter blue for towards the bottom of the sky where the blue is lighter. Okay, so there you go. You can go ahead and experiment like this very easily. I recommend keeping it to a pretty simple color palette so you don't get overwhelmed with too many different colors. And once you get more comfortable, if you want, you can add more colors. But so let me go ahead and do a small mini little landscape using these colors. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and work on a very quick and simple little landscape with these colors. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the, so I don't get as much paint on the table. I'm gonna start with the darker blue for towards the top of the sky. And I'm gonna start getting lighter as I go down. I'm just kind of blending them together. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and do my little cloud. Just a little loose cloud. Okay. I mean, not cloud. Yeah, cloud, sorry. Okay, and then I'm gonna get lighter. Okay, and sometimes I like to, well, that's too much, but what I like to do is kind of add a little bit of yellow towards the bottom of the clouds. I mean, the sky. Just a little bit of yellow to that blue. Okay, and while this is still wet, I'm gonna go ahead and make these clouds. So I'm gonna take some white and add some yellow ochre. This is way too watery. Okay, so while this is still wet, I'm gonna go ahead and take an off-white color and blend in the edges with the sky color. Okay, and then just go ahead and go in the middle. There you go, you got some fluffy clouds. I'm gonna add a little bit of yellow ochre towards the bottom of the cloud. Maybe a little bit of the darker sky color to make a little bit of a gray. Now a little bit of burnt sienna, which is my favorite color to add to clouds. So this is like mountains or trees in the background. And then I have some greens here. So there's a pretty basic little landscape. Okay, so there you go. There is a very simple little landscape using those colors that I showed you how to mix to make a sky. And then just using some greens for a very basic little landscape.